Look what we have here. And I'm gonna open it. Now let me see if I can. And hat, and knife. Step, step. Phone, are you okay? Well, thank God I got a case, right? Alright, so here we go. And let's open this up. Alright, so there we go. It's smaller than I expected it to be. But, that shouldn't be a problem. It's funny, that corner is quite sharp. But, yeah, so I'm going to go give this a spin right now, and then I'll make a video about it in a sec. Alright, bye. Alright, before we start, this is what it looks like, all lit up and plugged in and stuff. You can't really see it because of glare, but those buttons actually look very nice. So, yeah.
So as you can see, the controller works very well and really helps me get the upper hand when I play card game. No, I'm kidding. Let's go. This is Call of Duty, obviously, and so this is the second game I played with the controller. First one being on Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I'll upload that a bit later. But everything went really well. You'll see me at the beginning fiddle with the buttons a bit because well, I messed up a bit, and basically I didn't set them right. I still had the I configured the right extra bumper, in this case, to be jump, and the left extra bumper was switch weapons, but I'm changing it to knife now because on Battlefield knife is right bumper, so there's no. Anyway, so I changed it to knife, and you'll see me here like try and do it and then realize what's going on, and then I stop again and fix it. Interrupting dog. And okay. Nope. Anyways, we'll just keep going. But basically, I have found no problems with it so far. The thing I mentioned earlier was that basically people had said that they couldn't click in the stick all the way. I have not found that problem. That has not happened to me yet. So that's good news. Yeah, I mean, I really like. Okay, let's just go through it. The only thing that I'm kind of iffy with are the triggers. They're kind of weird. They don't feel quite natural on the hand, but I think that's something you'll get used to just because you're used to the way the Xbox, the standard Xbox controller ones feel. So the triggers, they're fine. They feel a bit weird, but I think that's just getting used to it. Obviously, getting used to using the extra bumpers is going to take a little bit of practice, just because I haven't, you know, gotten used to it yet. One of the things that's kind of weird is back and start are actually on the bottom of the controller, right above where you plug in the thing for chat. So, you know, right there you saw me check the score. I actually went up and just hit a blank area that was to the left of the home button, and I found that nothing was there. So checking the score is a bit awkward and kind of unmanageable, which, you know, is actually a good thing, because you end up checking your score less and therefore care about your KDs less, which is always a good thing, because, you know, having fun is always more important than, you know, keeping a good KD or whatever. Obviously, I think I'm going to do another video in maybe a week or so that kind of just recaps on this, just to say that, you know, tell you guys how I feel now, like once I've gotten used to the extra buttons and stuff. It's very light, which is kind of weird because obviously normally when you play with a battery pack that adds a considerable amount of weight, and when you remove that battery pack and make it wired, that weight is no longer there. So yeah, 15 feet for the cable. The cable's 15 feet. It's a braided cable too, which never gets tangled, which I was kind of skeptical about. I was sitting there like, how does that make any sense? But I actually tried to wind it up, and it ended up getting in something which looked like a knot, and I just pulled on it, and it just, you know, came right out, which was awesome. So that's really cool, because there's nothing more annoying than like, oh man, I'm gonna play some Xbox after I untangled these controllers for 10 minutes. So that's really nice. I think 15 feet is a bit excessive because I don't sit that far away from my TV. So as a result, I've got a load of loose cable lying around, and especially because it's, you know, a new toy, and I got kind of paranoid. I was like, oh my god, my dog's gonna bite it, so I need to like bunch it up and hide it away. So, you know, whatever. Fail at a triple right there. But yeah, so I have the resistance setting. The resistance is quite noticeable. I don't know why you would ever, like, I have mine all the way down, so the sticks are very loose. I don't know why you would ever turn it up more. I don't know, maybe if you're playing, like, racing games or something. I don't know. I'm not a big racing games fan, so that doesn't really apply to me, but I don't know. So the resistance is there. It doesn't make that much of a difference to me, but I still think it's a cool addition. The A, B, X, Y buttons, so the buttons, they actually don't work like the standard Xbox ones. Now, I watched a video where someone had actually opened up both the controllers, and you can see that in the Xbox one, the way they work is when you push down on the button. I'm actually holding an Xbox controller here in my hand. It pushes down on an electronic switch that basically, you know, via electronics is like, hey, they push this button. The way the Razer works is when you push the buttons, it's a mechanical switch, not an electronic one. So you feel the click, and apparently it's faster. And you actually have to push down the buttons considerably less. They're very flat almost, and they're really easy to push. So that's good. Even though with the addition of the of those customizable bumpers, you don't really need to push that many buttons. I mean, I have jump and knife, so that gets rid of 2 of my face buttons. The only other one would be to reload and to switch ammo, switch weapons, which actually, now that I think about it, you do pretty frequently. Now, if you're primarily a Battlefield player, you may run into the problem that to spot people, you're gonna have to like move your thumb all the way down onto the bottom to push that back button. But I imagine you'll get used to that, and I don't know. When you're playing anything but sniper, spotting people doesn't take on that regular, like, it doesn't happen that regularly anyways, so yeah. But you know, it's a really good controller. The way the remappable buttons work is really cool too. There's just a little, like, thing on the back when you flip it over. There's 2 buttons. You push one, then you hold it until you push the desired one that you want to reprogram it to, and then you let go and it's reprogrammed. And it works pretty good. I mean, obviously there's no problems so far, thank God. But yeah, my main concern was that that stick and the issue with sprinting, which, as you can see in this game, I've had no trouble with that at all. So that's real good news. Now, another thing I read in the quote professional reviews, which you guys, I put a commentary up yesterday, or actually earlier today. It's earlier today at the moment, but I don't know when this is going to go up. That basically said that I didn't really trust the quote professional reviews from companies like, you know, GameSpot and stuff, just because it's always different hearing it from someone who reviews things as their job. I don't know. It's weird, but it's true, and I don't know. Some of you have also probably found that to be true. They basically said everything was good except the D-pad, which they gave, you know, bad. And I have to disagree, because I love the D-pad. It's very responsive, if you will. You really, like, know when you've pushed it, if that makes sense. It's not like the normal Xbox One, which is kind of just fiddly. Each direction is actually a separate button. So you've got 4 directions, each has its own button, obviously, as I just said. And so if you're, you know, someone who plays fighting games, obviously it's not really going to work, because I think it's going to be a bit awkward. But if you're playing fighting games, you're probably, like, primarily, you're probably not going to be spending your money on on this particular controller. You'd probably buy, like, a gamepad instead. So obviously, if you're big into fighting games, don't buy it, because it's not what you want. But yeah, so it's very easy to push 2 of the directions at the same time. So if you're playing Fallout or Oblivion, and you've got your equipment like hotkeyed to directions on the D-pad, which you do in that game, I don't imagine it would be very difficult to push those buttons. I don't see, unless it doesn't read it, which would be kind of strange. But yeah, so that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, all in all, I think it's a great controller. It was $60. 60. I think the entire purchase came out to be 67 with shipping and tax. I got UPS, which was a couple dollars more on top of the regular postal, U.S. postal, which I don't recommend going with. I mean, the delivery times was like UPS 2 to 5 business days or postal 4 to 5 weeks for $2 more. Which one would you go with? But yeah, I mean, the feel of the controller is nice. It's not the normal plastic that they put on the Xbox ones. It's kind of a more like abrasive, almost rubbery. But yeah, I think it's really good. If you're looking for a wired controller, I'd say definitely pick it up. But anyways, I'll post another gameplay with some more opinions on it in a bit. So yeah, see you guys.